What's up, guys? Alecgory episode 3 is here. I'm so happy to be here. I know a little bit of a layaway, 2-week break. I really want to describe and explain to you guys why episode 3 didn't come out last week. I had a really cool guest, and the show went absolutely amazing. First of all, though, if it's your first time here and you haven't checked me out before, definitely go check out episode 1 with my boy Kid Chad. Check out episode 2 with my boy Wilson Raps. Two very different artists. Both have, had some of the same struggle, similar grind. Kid Chad out in LA now with his own self-made label, Playground. Check him out. All the links are in episode 1 description. Waveman Wilson, one of the best hip-hop albums in the world in 2020. I'll say that, yeah, in the world. Totally underrated. Had a great album, and he's only gotten better with time. He's got a great project coming out. It's sometime by the summer, I think, is what he told me in the last one. So he didn't want to put too much of a timetable on it. But anyways, yeah, episode 3, I'm going to call it the Meezy Solo Dolo Experience because it's just me. And I've never really made a full-length podcast where it's only me. And for someone like me who likes to talk as much as I do, I like to hear myself talk. I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner, honestly. But yeah, I've got a few topics to talk about today. Where do I want to start, honestly? By the way, first song that I played there, Sunsets and Beaches. It's a YouTube music library free beat. When it comes to YouTube videos and stuff like that, you have to be careful about the music you use. My video last time was flagged for playing a snippet on my phone of Ric Flair Drip. And they flagged it. And they didn't take it down, but what happened is it says, hey, if this is ever monetized, you can't get any money from it because you used a copyrighted song. So I'm going to get better about that. I think there's ways around it, but obviously I don't want to, as a creator myself, I don't want to steal people's content and things like that. So on that YouTube free audio library grind, and there's a lot of great beats, so I'm going to be testing out a lot of those. Had to dance a little bit and kind of get in my mojo. But really, first topic I want to talk about today is I want to talk about why episode 3 didn't happen. First of all, shouts out to Drew O'Connell. Absolutely amazing dude. I want to post some of the clips from that podcast that aren't ruined. First of all, I just want to say, take accountability for your actions. Extreme accountability. When you mess something up, just it's so much easier to just admit you messed it up, figure out why you messed it up, and move on from it. I had an absolutely outstanding podcast with Drew last week. A little over an hour long, I think. Just great content all around. So Drew, I'll ruin a little bit of his story here. I'm going to bring him back on. We're going to fix all this eventually. But Drew, he's around the age of 30 now, about to graduate from WVU. One of the craziest stories I've ever heard, and a real story of redemption and what it's like to be at the very bottom and to climb your way and just claw your way back into the life that you deserve. And he's just such a grateful guy. And while talking to him, not only did it make me just so grateful for what I have and the things that I've done in my life, but it just gives you a real perspective, because I don't want to harp on this too much, especially because that's Drew's thing. He's a bit of a motivational speaker now. He speaks to high schools and kids and just about drugs and alcohol abuse. And I think those topics are incredibly important to talk to the youth about, educate them. And I know it can be difficult, but, I'll never shy away from talking about that, because being from the state of West Virginia, seeing the drug epidemic in the state over the last, since I've been around, and probably longer than that, the poverty rate, obesity rates, things like that, I want to be a part of the solution. I'm not even there right now. Shout out to West Virginia. But he talks about, drugs and how his life completely fell apart because of them. And he's just in such a great place now. He's literally, it's funny. He's like a freaking ray of sunshine to be around, man. He made my entire night better just talking to him. And it's funny because I had to sit there and tell him, hey, what I did was I accidentally mirrored the audio. So the first 10 minutes of it are good, but when I switch the scenes, so I'll just show you a little bit because I'm toying with it now. I got 2 cameras now. I got my iPhone and I got my Sony camera. So when I switched the scenes, I had mirrored audio. So I had two of the same audio playing at the same time, right? So audio here, and then there's an audio below it. And it's the same thing going through. So when that happens, you get a huge echo. It sounded like we were in a swimming pool. And it just ruined the whole thing. And I'm about quality and all that, so I couldn't post it. Just wouldn't be on brand, and I felt horrible about it. Hated to have to tell him that because, he was excited about being on, and I was so excited to have him, but we're going to fix it eventually. But lesson 1, take accountability for your actions. You mess up, figure out why you mess it up, own up to it, and move on from there. I've found in my life it's been 10 times easier anytime where I just took accountability and figured it out. And I don't know. There's a book, I can't remember if it's called Extreme Accountability. Let's look real fast. Because I just, Extreme Ownership. And it was written by a Navy SEAL, and I've never read the entire thing cover to cover or anything like that. I watched a YouTube summary on it, listened to it a little bit on Audible, and it's just great, man. It talks about taking control of your own life and stopping blaming other people for your own downfalls. And to me, as I've gotten older, I've found that to be so true. In my wins and my losses, I think it's important to take accountability for that. And, as an 18-year-old kid, I don't think I understood that. And I don't think most 18-year-old kids understand that because I've said it before. Most of us, especially in America, we're spoiled. We're so spoiled, man. Like first world problems to the absolute max, because most of us have never had a situation where we didn't have a warm bed at night. Most of us have never been in a situation where we went hungry. I know some of you have, and don't let me take that for granted if you have. I just saying most people I know, even though West Virginia is the poorest state, pretty much, most of the people I knew and grew up with, I mean, they might not have been rich, and they might not even been middle class, but they had a warm bed at night. They had food in their bellies, and their parents worked hard and taught them, good lessons. So, shout out to everyone, all the parents. Parenting is, I'm not a parent, and I just know it's so hard. And I've worked with kids in tennis and everything like that. Got the tennis racket over here on my side. Had to throw that in the background. Working on the background, by the way. I'm going to get a new desk. I know I'm pretty plain Jane right now, but it'll come together. I'm not so worried about that. I just, focus on talking and yeah. But anyways, take accountability for your actions. That's lesson 1. Number 2, one thing I want to talk about is kind of, I don't know, morning routines. I've kind of been toying and tinkering with this for a while, but having a good morning routine is like something that most successful people, like successful actors and actresses and businessmen, CEOs, professional athletes, just professionals of any grade. They have really solid morning routines. And I think as humans, we're creatures of habitat. So being a creature of habitat, you need structure. I think that's something I learned as working anywhere, employees don't want free reign. Even if they say they do, they don't, because they need that structure. Student athletes, when I was a student athlete, I needed structure. Not to name drop anybody, but I had 2 different coaches in college, and one wasn't very structured, and one was. And the difference in overall experience, the difference in wins and losses, the difference in just overall improvement as students, as athletes, as people is night and day, completely different. And when I was coaching college tennis over the last 2.5 years, kids need that structure, man. The kids especially don't operate well whenever you just roll the balls out and say, "Hey, go practice today." They just don't. Their minds, they're young, and it's not productive. They work much better when you say, "Hey, 5-minute warm up. Hey, we're gonna get into 100 cross court ball drill, 100 volley drill. We're gonna hit serves for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do X, Y, Z." And employees are no different, and I'm the same way as an employee. And it's just, structure is so important. And this morning routine that I've kind of been getting into, and I've just been reading about it, watching videos. I got a free LinkedIn course the other day. It's just like 30 minutes total. It's like 10 little chapters of 1 minute, 3 minutes, whatever. It's just like a little LinkedIn course. No tests or anything like that. Thank God, because I wouldn't have taken it anyways. But basically, the guy's talking about how you need to get up at the same time every day. And I think that's important. Even on the weekends. Even on the weekend, it's crazy. I'm sure you've heard the term win the day, right? If you can win the morning, then that's going to snowball into winning the afternoon, winning at work or winning at school or winning at your business or winning whatever, your men's softball league maybe. That compounds. Our brains, it compounds. If you win, the very first time you can win in your day is when that alarm clock goes off. Let's say 6 a.m. I set my alarm for 6 a.m. When that alarm clock goes off at 6 a.m., the very first win of the day is for me to get up. One way that most of us lose to start our day, we lose from the very second our day starts. What do we do whenever our phone goes off? We hit snooze. And I'm bad at it. I'm terrible at it. And I know other people are too. Honestly, I've just been, I think, self-actualization and just realizing who you are as a human and understanding your downfalls and then trying to overcome them. To me, it's such a challenge and it's so fun. And I know, I'll just use myself for example. I'm such a flawed human. I'm messy. I get off task. My brain moves 1,000 miles an hour, and I know those are my downfalls, and I have to find ways to combat that. To even, I know that, and I have to find ways around it, right? Because a lot of us have problems that we ignore. We ignore our problems, and then they never get fixed, right? Because I don't know, if you have a hole in your wall at your house, it doesn't magically go away, right? So if we think of our lives as a house, first of all, you need a strong foundation, and that's what I think that morning. So for me, I'm starting this getting up at 6 a.m., and I don't work until 9 a.m. So I leave the house at 8:45 to go to work. So that gives me 2.5, 2:45 to get several things done. So what do you think? I mean, everyone's morning routine is different. I'd like to hear in the comments or whatever, or just whatever. Message me on Snapchat me if you want. I don't care. Message me on Facebook. Actually, hit me up on MySpace. But what do y'all think the most important thing is? For me, I've been finding I have this little stretching routine. If I get out of bed, if my brain triggers, I hit stop on the alarm, I get up out of bed, I start to stretch. I got this little stretching routine. It's like 10 minutes long. Just get your body loose. And for me, if the body starts to awaken, the mind starts to come alive too. So I do the stretching routine. I stretch the shoulders, stretch the legs, get into some deep squats. And you mix that in with some breathing exercises. I've toyed and tinkered with meditation. My meditation instructor from camp this summer would not be proud of me because I haven't been good at it. But try it out. 10 minutes. That's something I want to do every day. 10-minute meditation every single day. And I was into it for a while. And I told you before, but my brain, it just bam, bam, bam. Like I'm shooting off topics all the time. And my inner voice, just like really my outer voice, doesn't really shut up. So that can be hard. But I think meditation, if you can meditate 10 minutes early on in your day, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., just for 10 minutes, and just kind of let your mind relax, that's kind of a kickstart to your entire day. So I like to stretch, getting back to my meditation grind. It can be tricky. If you can't do 10 minutes, do 5 minutes. If you can't do 5 minutes, do 3 minutes. Do 1 minute. Just do some breathing exercises and count your breath slowly. And I think that's a great start. And then for me, after I do a stretch and everything, I'm getting back into, I have been really bad about exercising. It's sad to say. I know we're all bad about it sometimes. And for me, fitness and sports were just so much of my life for so long. And I'm really spotty and streaky about my fitness. So I'm trying to get back into a resistance band body weight routine in the morning, like a 30-minute routine, just some band push-ups and pull-ups and curls and just some normal things. And then some like band squats, different variations of squats. And to me, that just kind of awakens the body more and gets the muscles fired up. And to me, it's just really nice to start the day to getting the body ready to go. And I know that's kind of funny, right? Because most of us are going to work in an office or, something kind of white collar. But yeah, try that out. Just get up an hour earlier than you normally do and stretch, meditate, and do some body weight exercises and just see how that makes you feel. And then after that, of course, I make a pot of coffee. Sometimes I make it while I'm doing all that stuff, and sometimes I'll make it after. But I'll make a half a pot of coffee for myself. That's like that's basically 2 full mugs. And that's optional, obviously. But I will say, for real, if you drink a lot of energy drinks, let's say you drink 2 a day, and by God's, please, cut back on the energy drinks, please. Please, because I know they're not good for you. And I don't preach about this stuff, but all the sugar and there's just so much bad with it. It's just, if you drink 2, find a way to cut back to 1. If you drink 1, find a way to cut back to half. And coffee will help you out of that. And I know coffee, back and forth as to how healthy it is. If you drink black coffee or black coffee with some milk in it, I promise you that is much, much healthier than energy drinks or soda or anything like that. Another thing is, if you don't drink coffee, drink a huge glass of water after that. Just drink a big cold glass of water. For people that try to drink more water, I find that in the morning is the easiest time to consume water. So with me, every cup of coffee I have, I gotta have at least a cup of water to balance that on top of the water I want to drink after that. So yeah, I mean, if you give yourself, for me lately, I've been giving myself at least 2 hours, to get myself ready. And then after all that, I'm going to shower. And I think the class I took the other day said, read 3 to 5 pages every morning. Either have a book and just read 3 to 5 pages of it every morning, or find 3 to 5 pages that you like and that you can read often, or read different books, or read something online. But reading, so you've stimulated the body, right? You've stimulated the body. Now stimulate your mind. So read 3 to 5 pages or 10 pages if you want. For me, I'm really bad because when I start reading, I want to read forever. And I'm hard to motivate to get to read. Like, I love to read, but to actually get to the point of opening the book and reading, it's the hard part. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. And like I said, we're all flawed humans, so we want to get better. We want to do better. By the way, like, I've just realized, I don't even know how long I've been talking already. Probably like 20 minutes, something like that. But yeah, so the Solo Dolo podcast is going great so far. Once again, please subscribe. Comment, like, anything you can. Share it, please, if you want to, or if you think that there's anyone in your life that could benefit just from hearing some of the things I have to say. By all means. I'm just a kid from West Virginia, honestly, who I love meeting new people. I love interviewing people. I love self-improvement, and I don't know. I know a lot of people hate on Gary Vee because they call him motivation porn, and they think that people want to listen to motivational videos just to feel good about themselves, but don't actually want to improve their lives. And it definitely happens to all of us, right? It happens to all of us. To me, though, I love the positive affirmation, and Gary Vee talks about so many things, business and hustling. I love to hustle. He talks so much about hustling. NFTs are his new thing. Yeah, so if you don't know about Gary Vaynerchuk, for one, what are you doing? But for two, go follow him on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, Instagram. He's all over it. He's a podcast everywhere. Everywhere is Gary Vaynerchuk, and that's one of my biggest inspirations, both in business and self-improvement, self-reflection, extreme accountability. But yeah, subscribe. Just subscribe. And yeah, it's actually funny. So I talked about, I messed up episode 3. Okay. Then I needed to post something for this week, and I don't have anyone to interview right now. I have like 3 or 4 people that are all in line to interview, but I didn't get anyone to schedule for this week. And it's just so funny because it's like, do I not make content? I already did make content last week because I messed up. But no, I'm cool to talk by myself. And I would love to talk about things y'all want to hear me talk about, if that makes sense. So please shoot ideas in the comments or tweet me. I'm going to put my link tree in the description so y'all can follow me on all social medias. But I love ideas. I love to talk, and I love to meet new people. And just to give y'all some insight, I've got a tennis guy coming up on the podcast who he does his own like kind of self-development and how to become a better player, mental and non-tennis people will enjoy it. Any athlete I think will enjoy it, but anyone who's just trying to get better at something will enjoy it. And I'm really excited about that one. He's from the Netherlands, and I don't want to spoil anything. Got another artist coming up, a playground artist. Shout out Kid Chad once again. Love you, Chad. Hope you're doing well, brother, and I hope you see this. One of his artists is going to be on. He just dropped another song too, by the way. Well, Chad did last week, but this particular artist has dropped his second single with the Playground, and I'll give you guys a hint. His first single, Serena Venus, on Apple Music. So go check that out. It's the only one called Serena Venus on there, but I don't want to give his name away. Y'all have to find out. He's only 13, and kid's crazy talented. I'm gonna be doing a podcast with him. 13 years old. Can't wait to talk to just about lifestyle and his hustle and his grind, and can't wait for that. I got a childhood friend, a kid I graduated with from high school who has his own brand now, motivational type of stuff, fitness and motivational speaking, and he's just a grinder, hustler, old school, bring your lunch pail to work kind of guy. And shoot, man, I went to kindergarten with him, and I was friends with him my entire life since then. Haven't seen the guy in a while. Joined the military after school and all that, so I'm excited to bring him on as well. And again, if y'all have ideas, send them to me. Like, tag people on my Twitter who you want me to interview, or tag what y'all want, because I'm a man of the people. I'm a man of the people. I want to make content that y'all love, because I love making content. And like I said before, I love hearing myself talk, but more importantly, I like hearing others talk, and I like spreading their messages, and I like helping people grow. My favorite saying is, let's go, let's grow. So I'm here to help all of us grow, and just a kid from West Virginia. That's going to be my saying, I think. It sounds too good. I'm just a kid from West Virginia. I'm from Shinson, West Virginia. Town of a couple thousand people, middle-class type of family. Parents both worked my whole life. They gave me and my sister anything we ever wanted, but we were never rich, anything like that. I grew up addicted to sports since I was a little kid, playing basketball in the driveway since I was 4 years old with my neighbors, and he taught me how to play basketball, and played my basketball my entire life from age 4 all the way through Jerry West League in middle school and in high school, and was the captain on the high school basketball team my last couple years. Shout out Lincoln High School. Just a 5'7", 135-pound kid. Haven't gotten any bigger since I was like 16. I'm the same dude. And then, I played tennis in high school. Started playing when I was 15, became an all-state tennis player, grinding my ass off. Fell in love with that game, and it took me off my basketball grind, but it was a blessing because, like I said, I didn't get any bigger, so basketball really wasn't in the cards for me at the next level, and I knew my whole life I wanted to be a college athlete. My dad, shout out my dad, whenever I was a kid, I used to tell everyone I want to play basketball for Duke. My uncle went to Duke, his master's. He got his MBA at Duke, and I got to go to Cameron Indoor to see him graduate when I was like 5 years old. And when you're 5 years old and you go to Cameron Indoor, that's Disney World or better, whatever the basketball equivalent to Disney World is. I guess, I looked at it like it was Madison Square Garden, the Mecca, and fell in love with Duke basketball. I've been a Duke basketball fan my whole life, but I told people I want to play basketball for Duke, and then either go pro or be like a doctor, engineer, or whatever. I wasn't any of that. First of all, I wasn't that smart, but second of all, it's just not my thing. But I ended up going to college to play tennis at Fairmont State. Essentially a walk-on. I got like a little scholarship money, but academically and prepaid college and things like that, I really went there for free, which was sick. Fairmont State, shout out Fairmont State. Fairmont State was really where I learned so much. Met most of my best friends in the world at Fairmont State, and that was really the school that where I'm from. It's like, oh, don't go to Fairmont State. That's where all the commuters go. That's where all the kids who who can't make it at WVU or can't make it at a bigger school go. They go to Fairmont, and so it was ingrained in my brain. I was like, well, I ain't going to Fairmont. Fairmont's where all the dumb people go. And maybe it's true because I ended up going there. But no, Fairmont. I played tennis at Fairmont, graduated with an architecture degree, 4-year student, 4-year member of the college tennis team, captain of the tennis team my senior year, and I was nowhere near the best player. It's just I was a senior, and I guess I was a good motivator. And shout out Fairmont State Tennis, shout out Coach Kyle, and shout out all my boys, Americans, Brazilians, Peruvians, Australians, all of them, friends from all over the world, and memories I'll have with me till. I always joke around and say I can't wait to annoy my grandkids with all my stupid stories from college. And to me, I'm so blessed that most of my stories, and we had a lot of fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun in college. Going to a state school was a good decision, if you know what I mean. But I'm so glad that most of my really good stories are based around good times with friends and good battles on the court, and not all just about drinking and partying, because of course we did that. And shoot, man, I did that a lot with my friends and my guys, my teammates. But I just have so many good memories outside of that and so many lifelong friendships, and I just can't wait to annoy my grandkids with the stories one day. And I reckon they'll look at it, how we looked at it when our parents told dumb stories about their high school glory days or college glory days. And it's just funny looking back. I'm going to take a short break for just a second, and I'm going to play another YouTube beat. How about that? Shout out YouTube Music Library. This is called Sunday Rain by Chill. Hold on. I gotta show you. Okay, I'm gonna just ruin it now. It's fine, honestly. I gotta play y'all this song by Big Juice, man. It's called Serena Venus. Dude's 13 years old. I can't wait to have him on the podcast, and hope he sees this. But I'm gonna shout him out. I started getting in the vibe of the song, and I'm gonna just play y'all a snippet of the song. But it's just a club banger. It's for the kids, for the youth. And I'm 25 now, so this ain't even my style of music, but it's just a 13-year-old kid made it. It's tennis themed. I mean, it's tennis themed. Come on, I'm gonna love it.
I'm not a pussy, but I'm eating on her cat. Serena Venus,
Turn
I'm
that down a
playing
little
with
bit.
these racks. We get that bitch, we go run through her like a track. I get my cheese, but I've never been a rat. I'm getting money, bitch, I just sold a whole pack, yeah. King of my city, feel like Jay-Z. I think about my past, got me thinking like I'm Brady. These haters think they fade me. These bitches know that I just fuck they lady. I'm not a pussy, but I'm eating on her cat. Nope. Serena Venus, how I'm playing with these racks. We get that bitch, we go run through her like a track. I get my cheese, but I've never been a rat. I'm getting money, bitch, I just sold a whole pack. I'ma spend a little money, I'ma hang on the beat. And I keep me a stick, how I hang with a tree. And I fuck that little hoe, but this dick is not free. And I hang with my gang, cause they are all G's. I don't want your number, bitch, I'm trapping at the Hummer God.
That's just a snippet of it. That's like half of it. It just goes in. That's for the kids, man. 13-year-old dude, Big Juice. Playground Records. Shouts out Kid Chad. Shouts out Big Juice. I'm going to just change it up just a little bit from here now. I know this has been all over the place. Once again, the Measy Solo Dolo podcast, baby. Alecgory episode 3. Make sure you subscribe below. And yeah, if you rock with me, thank you. And keep riding the wave. And if you don't rock with me, that's cool because you will soon. I'm so glad to be talking, honestly. I want to talk a little bit about just kind of a transition. So I was formerly the graduate assistant at Salem University and in tennis. So over the last year and a half, so June of 2019 to this past November, December of 2020, I was a tennis graduate assistant at Salem University. So that means I was a graduate student getting my MBA in sports management whilst being the tennis coach. So kind of, I'm the tennis coach and they trade that for giving me a free education. So free education round 2. I've been really lucky and blessed in my life. Yeah. Shouts out to the man upstairs for blessing me and keep blessing me. And hopefully I'll keep making you proud. But I was a graduate assistant there, and a lot of you know my passions in athletics. So I was a college athlete. I've coached college tennis at 2 different places as an assistant, graduate assistant. I was an intern for the West Virginia Rough Riders arena football team. I used to have my own sports podcast, sports website. Shout out Turnstone Sports, the OG. Yeah, sports is always my passion. And before I was a GA at Salem, I was accepted into the graduate program sports management at WVU and decided to pass it up to go to Salem and work with my college tennis coach. But yeah, the college tennis world, the college athletics world it's an interesting beast. It's something that most people, especially at the small level, because D2 athletics are so not that popular, right? D2, D3, NAIA, NJCAA. It's not on ESPN, so it's forgotten about. But the one thing I'll say about D2, and the talent's crazy. I mean, I played with dudes that were so good, and I've coached dudes that were so good, and I'm not nearly that kind of talent, man. I'm just a kid from West Virginia. But it's so underrated. There's so much talent there, so many overlooked talents, and so much potential. And I've just met so many good people, and I had great players at Salem. I recruited so many good players. And Kyle taught me how to do that, and he recruited good players too. But yeah, I recruited some players, and they're still there, and they're good. And it's crazy to think about. Just looking back and reflecting on that kind of is funny. But and I was also doing play-by-play for the basketball team, which was freaking awesome. Shout out David Scholemson. He was the SID at Salem, no longer there, but he was the SID at Salem. He let me be the play-by-play Salem basketball, and Salem basketball had an amazing season. And I don't want to give any more secrets away, but I also have a Salem basketball player coming on the podcast in the coming weeks. ECAC Player of the Year last year. I don't want to give anything else away, but y'all could probably figure it out. Shouts out to him. Can't wait to talk to him. Had another good season, and can't wait to hear what he's going to do. He just finished his senior season. So college athletics is such a dirty world, honestly, if we're being honest. And for anyone still listening, I hope there's still people listening, but I might just cut out some of these parts and post them to LinkedIn or whatever. Instagram, Twitter, whatnot. But basically, COVID really changed everything for me. We were having a 4-1 on the men's side, 5-1 on the girls' side when COVID canceled. Having a great year, good chance to go to nationals on the women's side. And since COVID happened, man, it really changed everything for me and a lot of other people. So I'm not crying or anything, but yeah, I mean, you go from having a great season, having a chance at nationals, the sky's the limit, right? And then you go from that to no season, and then you go from that to your future with the school, and then things become not as fun anymore. So, we had the fall wasn't very fun because of COVID, and we really didn't practice much. And where I'm going with all this is I was essentially promised a job when I finished my graduate assistantship at my university, and that fell through. And I learned a lot about myself during that because I had the feeling that it was going to fall through the whole time. And I was already applying for other jobs and things like that because it was getting close to time and they weren't saying much. And just at university, you put a lot of chips and you put a lot of chips on the table, and you really, gave your all to them and wanted the best, and care a lot about your kids. So leave it on terms like that, man. It wasn't fun. I care deeply about Salem. So shout out to them. But yeah, it fell through. I didn't get my job. I had a couple college tennis offers. I had a JUCO assistant coaching job, full time, which is rare, especially at JUCO assistant. Full time, and thought everything went well. Interviewed with the coach, went great. Interviewed with the AD, had a great conversation. Fully intended on taking that job. Didn't even get a call back after that. They never even told me I didn't get the job. So it's a dirty world. It's a dirty world, man. You have to learn to not take things personally. It sucks. I think it sucks because for me, I put my heart into it. Anyone that knows me, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And you wear your heart on your sleeve, man, your heart's going to get broken, right? And you got to learn to take things as business and not personal. And that's one thing I've gotten better at, but it's not easy, right? It's not easy. And that job fell through. I had a Division III assistant coaching job full-time. I got the job, actually. I got that job, and I decided not to take it and took this job at this technology company out in Greenville, South Carolina. And, everyone has to make decisions in life. And for me, financially, it was a better decision. But, hindsight's always 20/20. I mean, that was a hard decision for me, and it wasn't easy. And I still think about it sometimes. I planned on being around college tennis for a while. This is the first spring that I haven't been around the game as a player or coach since the spring of 2014. And now we're in the spring of 2021. That's 6-7 years that I've been around the college tennis scene in the Atlantic region, NCAA D2. And it's weird not to be there. And I've been checking up on it, so I'm such a nerd. And I love college. I love D2 athletics. My ultimate goal is to be an athletic director. And I still haven't given up on that dream yet because I love college athletics. And my time as a college athlete changed my life, and I saw it change others' lives. And I just know that the experience could be even better than that. And as an athletic director, you have the opportunity to make student athletes' lives better, make opportunities better, make teams more competitive, and, you really drive the entire university's athletic department. So, that's kind of that's still one of my goals. It's still on the table as far as that goes. And I just think the last couple things I just want to say is follow your passion, and really, really follow your passion and follow your dreams, because people die every day, right? And my girlfriend went to high school with a girl who just died, and she's 20, 21, 22, the girl that died. And I'm 25 now, and two people that I went to high school with have died in the last 4 to 5 months, drug overdose. But not just, people die every day. Life is so short, man. And as far as finances go, do what you love. And if you can't do what you love full-time, do what you love part-time until you can make it a full-time job. And for me, I'm just going to be honest with you, making content and making podcasts and talking to people and meeting new people, that's my side hustle for now, but I fully intend for that to be my main job one day. And I don't care if it takes 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. I'm going to get to that point. I know I'll get to that point. And LeVar Ball says, speak it into existence. And I'm speaking that into existence. So I don't care how long it takes. You keep side hustling and you keep hustling and working. And if you love something, you never, ever let it go. And there's things in my life that I've never let go. And that's because I have deep love for them. And tennis is one. And doing this and talking with y'all and talking with people, and it's something I love, and I'll never let that go. And I think there's a way to make this happen and make this work. And so many, man, shout out all the people in my life, because there's so many people who gas me up, and I don't even know if they mean it or not, but I think they just love me wholeheartedly, and they wouldn't tell me if I sucked anyways. But there's so many people who are like, I love what you're doing and keep going, keep working. And you have such a positive message. And I just want to be a positive beacon of light, man, because I think I remember being a kid and I grew up in a good home. It was good at sports, was smart in school, was relatively, had a lot of friends. I felt like there was times where nothing seemed positive and I didn't have a positive voice to listen to. So I just hope that I'm a positive voice for a 14-year-old kid who's going through it, or someone who's in their mid-20s who's, going through a breakup or depressed or doesn't have any friends, all kinds of things, man. And I live in a new city where I don't have any friends right now. I live in Greenville, South Carolina. I've met people playing tennis and I have work friends and stuff, and I'm not deprived socially, but I don't have friends I hang out with here. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. One of my friends visited me 3 weeks ago, and my girlfriend visited me this past week. But other than that, I don't hang out with people. When I'm at the crib, I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to do this podcast thing. I'm trying to make videos, make content, learn about it. And that's it. And that's it. That's what keeps me going. And I miss my friends back home. Shout out my friends back home. But so many people just shoot me messages and say, keep going. And I love what you're doing. And, I can't wait to see who you interview next and who you talk to. And, man, this is the people I've had on the show talking to. They're just so positive. Their messages are so positive, and they're good people. And at the end of the day, good people are good people. I mean, you work with good people, your job's better. You're on a team with good people, your team's better. That's all it's about. That's all life's about, is being happy and having good friends and good people and chasing what you love. I'll say it again. Life is short. Life is short. People die all the time. People die unhappy. People die unhappy with $1 million in their bank account. And on their deathbed, if they could do it over and chase something that they loved for less money, I bet you damn well they'd do it. Because guess what? Guess where that $1 million goes when you die? It don't go with you. If you're going to heaven or if you're going somewhere else or whatever religion you believe in, that money, that's earthly. That's say right here. Yeah, you can't take your Coinbase wallet does not travel with you into the next life. Or actually, maybe it does. NFTs are getting crazy, but you can't take it with you, man. You got to do what you love. You got to chase your dreams, and you got to find a way. I have all the excuses in the world with everything, but at the end of the day, you got to find a way. Excuses are just that. They're just bullshit reasons for you not to chase what you love, and that's all it is. And I think making content is funny because you really put yourself out there. You're so vulnerable, and I don't know. You could be a meme. I could be a meme. Dorky white dude makes dumb podcasts that people laugh at. Or people be sending it in the Instagram messages to their group chat like, man, this dude lame. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I got a friend who's a creative writing student, master's student, and he hasn't sent me the script, the full script yet, but he wrote this super dope sci-fi like podcast series. It's like a story, and he was messaging me about it, and he asked if I wanted to play a role in it, and I said, yeah, I want to play a role in it, of course. Sounds amazing. And then he said I was going to play like one of the main characters, and I was like, what? So I'm really excited about that. I don't know how I'll be as a voice actor, but I'm going to blow it up and treat it like it's a world premiere showing, because that's just how I am. But I'm really excited about that. And I didn't give his name away, so I hope if he listens to this, please don't be pissed at me. Don't be mad. I'm so excited I had to tell someone, because I'm really excited to do that, and I can't wait to be a voice actor in a podcast sci-fi series. And what kind of character do y'all think I'll be? He asked me if I want to be a protagonist or a villain. I said, oh God, I got to be a protagonist. I can't imagine myself being the villain. Maybe in due time, or maybe I'll evolve to that role. But I'm always just trying to snowball and thank y'all for listening, honestly. I don't have any great ending to this. This has been all straight off the rip. Like, shoot. I'm going to do something funny. I'm going to just grab. So I grabbed my bipod with my phone. If you see, that's just my Spotify. I don't have anything else out here. This is just straight up. Yeah, it's just straight up my phone. Sorry, my mic isn't even. I'll just show you all my apartment. Yeah, that's the crib. It's messy right now. Yeah. But this is just me in the corner of my apartment at 10 p.m. making a podcast. And I hope y'all like it. And if not, I hope y'all pretend to like it. And if not, if you don't like it, just tell me why you don't like it and let me make it better. You know what I mean? But yeah, Alecgory episode 3, the Measy Solo Dolo experience. I hope you all enjoy it. Please subscribe. Follow me on all my Linktree, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, MySpace. No, I'm kidding about the last two. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I actually just made a TikTok. Not to consume. Please, I'm a part of the old crowd who's like, I ain't making a TikTok, China and TikTok and blah blah blah. Nah, I created a TikTok because I want to make TikTok content. So please don't get that too confused. But anyone who likes TikTok, that's cool too. It's no different than any other social media. You know what I mean? Anything can be good or bad depending on how you use it. But yeah, definitely hit me with the follow, hit me with the like, subscribe below. Yeah, keep rocking with me, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's go one last audio library beat, and I'm just gonna play one random. Something is going on. Look, I got the video in here. Something is going on. That's by God Mode. Yeah. So yeah, I hope y'all like the YouTube library samplings as well. That's gonna be a staple of the new show. So appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all later. Episode 4 is gonna come out next week. Not giving away who it is. Y'all have to find out. Peace.